Hello everyone, this is Gary from Fantastic Fundas, and in this lecture today we are going to talk about the time period between 1932 to 1934, and in this we will be covering various things as you could see in the opening 10 seconds also. For example, Karachi session and the second RTC and the third RTC and all those things, right? Now the background is where we ended the last lecture, that there was a CDM happening, and then there was first RTC also, okay, first RTC, and then our Gandhi he went he did not attend this RTC, and then there was Gandhi Irwin Pact, and in this pact it was British government, they did not adhere to Gandhi's demand of not hanging Bhagat Singh and Sukhdev Thapar and Rajguru. So this thing was happening over here. Okay, so what is happening, that on 29th of March 1931, right, this Karachi session is held. Okay, Karachi session of Congress is held. Karachi session. Now, on Gandhi Irwin Pact, Delhi Pact is endorsed over here, and before this, on 23rd March, just 6 days before this, in 1931, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Rajguru, they were hanged by the Britishers, right? And there's a lot of anger in the people that why Gandhi did not save Bhagat Singh. Even today, a lot of people, some out of genuine concern and some out of communalist ideas, that they defend these people, right? I have seen a lot of people defending Bhagat Singh in the name of religion, at the same time holding Gandhi responsible for it. I have seen a lot of people, there's hardly any defense for Sukhdev and Rajguru. Their names less often come up anyway. So what I am trying to suggest is not that it's a communal idea. My idea is that the Bhagat Singh was an atheist, number one, right? So he did not have to do anything with the religion. Now, so a lot of anger is there. Down with Gandhi, Gandhi go back, down with Gandhism, Gandhi's truce has sent Bhagat Singh to gallows, long live Bhagat Singh, were few of the slogans at that time. Okay, so when Gandhi was going to attend this Karachi session of Congress, there were black flags shown to Gandhi that he did not save Bhagat Singh, and then Congress passed the resolution in Karachi that how they admired the bravery and the sacrifice of the revolutionists, but they did not. But at the same time, they also added that they still believe in non-violence and not in the violence. So these two things over happened, right? And the goal of Poona Pact was reiterated in this 1931 Karachi Congress session. And then a resolution on fundamental rights was also passed over here, and then also and a national economic program was passed over here. This was drafted by Dr. Rajendra Prasad over here. Okay, now this resolution on fundamental right, it included few things like basic civil rights, freedom of speech, expression, assembly, association. Okay, so these few things were included over here. I'll just write over here, right? So press was there, and peaceful assembly was there, and equality before law, that was the equality before law, and then universal adult franchise was there, that provision is there. Free and compulsory primary education. Okay, so what we put into effect now in this century, 21st century, was done by the Britishers, by the Indians in the Karachi session of Congress. Free and compulsory primary education, basically Article 21A. And then substantial reduction in the rent and taxes, and better condition for workers, including a living wage. Okay, living wage should be given. All these things are mentioned in our constitution also, either as FR or directive principle of state policy. Protection of the minorities also has been given, that has been ensured in the present constitution through the fundamental rights. We all know all the story over here. Now, the meaning of the Swaraj was also what do you mean by Swaraj? The complete independence was explained to the people in this session, and this session remained the essence of the socio-economic political program for the Congress in all the coming later years. Now this is the background in which the whole of the thing is happening. Okay, but before I move ahead, okay, after this, see this is the march going on. Okay, let me just clear the screen. This is march going on, right? March 1931, and after this will come second roundtable conference, and then we'll see all that. But before that, you know, the second roundtable conference, there's somewhere in September. Okay, Gandhi will leave in August to attend this, because at that time there were no aeroplanes. It will take 20-30 days to reach England, so he would go by a ship. We'll talk about that, right? But before that, you know, I would like to answer you a question. Did Mahatma Gandhi, you know, is Mahatma Gandhi responsible for the hanging of the Bhagat Singh? This is one contentious question that has been asked so many times. So I'll just try to answer this question. In fact, I will not answer this question. Okay, I'm not answering this question. I'll just put few facts in front of you, and I'll leave it to you that who actually did it. You can always discuss this in the comment section. Okay, there's been a lot of criticism. Okay, for example, Bhagat Singh's execution or Rajguru Sukhdev's execution, it was not just condemned by the Sikhs, because many believed that Bhagat Singh was a Sikh, although he was a secular person. You know, he did not believe in religion, right? He, in fact, why I am an atheist. He was an atheist. Anyway, so there were a lot of Hindus also who were defending Bhagat Singh at this time. For example, Yashpal was there, right? He was a colleague of Bhagat Singh, and the biographer of Bhagat Singh, J.S. Deol, he also has talked about that how Mahatma Gandhi is responsible for it, right? But then, you know, I'll just talk to you about the various facts which were in play at that time about the execution of Bhagat Singh. Okay, now see, Gandhi believed in non-violence. Okay, and Gandhi, he knew the one thing, that he was aware that if he did not stop execution of the of Bhagat Singh, then people, you know, people, they will be angry, right? And people are angry, you know, especially the younger element and all in the Congress. Many people in Congress were very angry, actually, you know. So that, what would that mean? You know, it would mean the failure of his policy. Okay, so people would not believe in him. So Gandhi had more to lose by execution of Bhagat Singh than not execute. Not executing. Sorry, but Gandhi had more to lose if Bhagat Singh is executed. So Gandhi is at loss only when Bhagat Singh is executed, and Mahatma Gandhi actually realized this thing. Okay, because people will be angry on him and people will not follow him. That obviously he realizes this thing. Number one, that's number one thing. Number two is, you know, if Bhagat Singh is executed, so this will glorify and make him a martyr. Okay, this will glorify martyr, and this will glorify violence. And if this glorifies violence, it will be a loss of Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi's policy of non-violence would be taken as a poor thing in contrast to violence for which Bhagat Singh was executed at that time. You know, so that effectively means that since Bhagat Singh hanging would glorify him, and Mahatma Gandhi would be at loss. So in other words, I can say that Mahatma Gandhi had things to lose if Bhagat Singh is hanged. So Mahatma Gandhi would not want hanging of Bhagat Singh. That is what I think. Okay. Number three is that number three is, if Mahatma Gandhi is able to save Bhagat Singh, okay, save him from execution, then what will happen? Then the theory of non-violence would be upheld, and people will start believing in non-violence. Then, you know, this is a proof of it that non-violence method works. So in other words, if Mahatma Gandhi's views would be reiterated, then Mahatma Gandhi would definitely like to do this, that prove his work, that his non-violent methods work. Okay, and see, understand that Gandhi's views, he had a deep rooted faith in futility of violence and efficacy of non-violence. So he adopted a consistent approach. Okay, so he says that the assassin, okay, the person who's killing, is quite convinced in his mind that he's acting in the interest of the country, but it is not so. Okay, and that is why basically what for Bhagat Singh, Rajguru Sukhdev were punished for the murder of the Saunders. Okay, he says that it's a dastardly act. Okay, he says this murder should not have been happened. Mahatma Gandhi says this, but he also says this: it is not the fault of us. It is the provocation given by the Britishers because of which this happened. Otherwise, this violence would not have happened. Similar kind of idea is given by Bhagat Singh in his book Why I Am an Atheist. He says, I am against violence of any kind. He says it was because of provocation over here that this was happening. Now, freedom of a nation, Mahatma Gandhi says, cannot be won by solitary acts. Please understand, if there is violence, okay, for how long can we do violence? How long? Number one. Number two, do we have means to do violence? Is that possible? So those are the few questions which still exist. Okay. Now, what happens that Mahatma Gandhi says this thing actually. Now, Bhagat Singh is to be executed on 23rd March, okay, 1931. On 7th March, Mahatma Gandhi said that I cannot in all conscience agree to anyone being sent to gallows, because so that's another point, number 4, that what was Mahatma Gandhi's stand on the killing? He was against death penalty. That was what Mahatma Gandhi was saying. Okay, and he said that none should be sent to gallows, and least a person like Bhagat Singh. So Bhagat Singh को तो भेजने का मतलब ही नहीं है, ठीक है ना. जब आप औरों को वो है, मैं तो मानता ही नहीं, पर भगत सिंह को कैसे भेज दें, वो तो और अच्छा है. तो दैट वाज हिज आइडिया, राइट. एंड देन 3 days after Bhagat Singh was executed, that is on 26th March, Mahatma Gandhi, he clarifies his stand, he clarifies his concern. In fact, Madeline Maid, she was like a daughter to Mahatma Gandhi. She talks about it, how disturbed Mahatma Gandhi was because of the death of Bhagat Singh. Anyway, right. So basically, a false impression has been created in the society that Mahatma Gandhi became interested in Bhagat Singh's death, and then Mahatma Gandhi talked about Bhagat Singh only few weeks after him. This is just 3 days after his death he's talking about this. Okay, then Gandhi, as far as back, even in 1930 actually, 4th May 1930, Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to the Viceroy at that time, criticizing him for the creation of special tribunal. He said that how can you create a special tribunal for hanging Bhagat Singh and all in what is called as Lahore conspiracy case, which is not acceptable. Okay. Anyway, the thing is that it was quite clear at that time that that Bhagat Singh could be free. He could be free only if because his appeal was rejected by Privy Council. So only now if the Viceroy agrees, only then he could be set free. So Viceroy had to be talked. And Gandhi Irwin talks. Please remember this thing, that these two talks happened between 17th of March and 17th of February and 5th of March. Okay, this is all happening in 1931 only. And during these talks, Gandhi raised the issue of the Bhagat Singh for the first time during Gandhi Irwin talks on a particular date, that is 18th of February for the first time. So just immediately on the next day only, the first meeting when it happens, Mahatma Gandhi talks about Bhagat Singh to the Viceroy, that how he should not be executed. Okay. Now Gandhi realized at this time, right, that commutation, that he should not be punished, death penalty should not be given, commutation is not possible legally, and why would Britishers agree to it? After all, they are our enemies only. So Mahatma Gandhi played his trick, and he said, okay, fine, you don't commute him, but suspend him for a while, suspend his sentence for a while, let things be very clear about it. So many people think that Mahatma Gandhi only wanted to delay this. Actually, this is a delay tactic. Okay, this is nothing more. It's a delay tactic. Once you delay, then the momentum can be built up, and then the government can be pressurized. But at this moment, what pressure can be put on them? He did not plead for commutation, although he would, being opposed to all taking of life. Mahatma Gandhi would oppose this, but he doesn't, because he also thought it would have an influence for the peace. Number one, he did ask for postponement, because he contended, that whatever might be the decision as to exact date, I could not think that there was any case of commutation which might not be made with equal force in the case of other violent crime. So he was talking about that he was talking about delay as a tactic, not because of the reason that he was against Bhagat Singh or against any kind of religion, especially Sikhism at that time. Please do not be foolish person, do not be led by communal forces. Get into the logic of the things and then focus on it. Okay, number one. that's the one thing, right? Now next thing is that legally speaking, everyone knows that commutation could not have been possible. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter also to Veera Raghvacharya. I'm discussing this because you don't just to clarify things. There are a lot of misconception in the society about Bhagat Singh. So Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Vijay Raghvacharya, and that was in 1931 in April, in which he says that he is sure that even people like Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru and everyone was talked about it. It's not possible to commute Bhagat Singh. Only thing is, if out of way the viceroy goes, that is why he was seeking the delay over here. Okay, Gandhi's plan. What was Gandhi's plan? Okay, he was seeking the prolonging the suspension and wait for proper stage when a favorable environment is created. When the favorable environment is there, he could ask the remission at that time of the sentences or even the release of the condemned revolutionaries. That was the Gandhian plan. Now that's like the first time when the Gandhi raises the issue before Lord Irwin. Second time Gandhi again raises the issue before Lord Irwin, and this time it was on the 19th March 1931. And on this date, what happens? They met to discuss basically the notification of the pact at the Congress session in Karachi. They are discussed here. This, but Irwin, Gandhi again said this thing to him that what should we do about Bhagat Singh? He should be left free. Mahatma Gandhi saying this to Bhagat Singh, Lord Irwin, in the most convincing manner over here. Okay. Now, but Bhagat Singh, Irwin recorded all this discussion, and he says that it's not possible for him to do that for various reasons. For example, it would look like as if they are considering commutation and all those things. Okay, so finally, and then on 20th March 1931, again Mahatma Gandhi asked Lord Irwin. Okay. Actually, this time Mahatma Gandhi talks to the Secretary of the State, Home Secretary at that time, right? Home Secretary of the State, whose name was Herbert Emerson. And he asked this guy Herbert Emerson, the Home Secretary, whether the execution should be delayed, execution should not be happening at this moment. He kept on talking about this over here, and Congress, they have been very seriously considering what things are possible, but the Britisher did not relent. And then fourth time, Mahatma Gandhi goes and talks to British government, and this was one of the last efforts. What he does is he sends Asif Ali and Aruna Asif Ali, okay, Asif Ali and Aruna Asif Ali to Punjab to talk about this, about this not executing the Bhagat Singh. Okay, for they want to talk to Bhagat Singh and other that they will not commit into violence, and they would give a written letter to the government that they will not commit violence and all. But what happens that Aruna Asif Ali and Asif Ali, they are not allowed to meet Bhagat Singh. Why? Because Punjab, the bureaucracy at that time in Punjab did not allow them to do so, because bureaucracy really wanted to hang Bhagat Singh at that time. The ICS officers at that time wanted to hang Bhagat Singh. Okay, so even when Asif Ali became the governor of Odisha in 1948 somewhere, he recalled his unsuccessful mission to Bhagat Singh. He talks about that, how desperately he and Mahatma Gandhi wanted to save Bhagat Singh at that time. Lord Irwin, he carried the final authority regarding the execution, and Irwin was quite convinced now with the logic given by Mahatma Gandhi that Bhagat Singh should not be hanged. Okay, and Gandhi was aware of this viceroy's dilemma, and he just doubled his efforts at this time. In fact, I'll tell you. In fact, the British newspapers, for example, there was News Chronicle. It was talking about that how Bhagat Singh's execution is getting delayed because of Mahatma Gandhi's efforts. There is a newspaper talking about that. Okay, these are historical evidences of that time. Okay, and then on 21st March, so this is like 20th March, 4th is this thing. 5th attempt by Mahatma Gandhi to save Bhagat Singh is on 21st March 1931, when Gandhi met Irwin again and communicated him for reconsideration of the impending execution. Okay, but then he said, okay, we'll look into it. Then 22nd March again Gandhi made a plea to Irwin that leave Bhagat Singh. See, what else he could have done? Everyone said Gandhi should have made it conditional. They will talk to you only if Bhagat Singh is left. Okay, but please understand one thing. It's like you saying, you telling it to the government of India, make me an IS officer, only then I'll follow the law. Okay, government says, okay, don't follow, don't only don't, we won't make you IS, whatever you want to do you may do. So same way, if we would not have signed the agreement with the Britishers at that time, Gandhi-Irwin Pact, what difference would it have make? Not much difference to the execution of Bhagat Singh, because they were in any case determined to execute Bhagat Singh and Rajguru and Sukhdev Thapar ji at that time. Okay, Bhagat Singh ji and all. So Gandhi met Irwin, again and again, and not only this, seventh time Gandhi is meeting, and this is on the 23rd March of 1971 in the morning. Not 1931, not 71. Gandhi is pleading to Irwin, okay, what have you thought? And he gave him a lot of logics. For example, he talked about the inciting public opinion. What kind of logics? Obviously, he had a great oratory skill, but few of the logics that could come out of the historical evidence was that he said, he gave logic. That public opinion is against it. Number two, if you hang Bhagat Singh, their internal peace would be disturbed. Number three, revolutionaries, he said, I will make sure that revolutionary, they shed violence, they do not do violence. Bhagat Singh in any case had turned non-violent by this time. And his own position, okay, he was talking about that, his own position, Gandhi, that Irwin should listen to him because of his position of Gandhi in society. And the position, Gandhi talked about the possibility of the judicial error, okay. And then Gandhi also talked about the Christian sentiments of Lord Irwin, because Lord Irwin was a religious man and Gandhi was appealing to his Christian sentiments. But then none of these things worked, and Irwin did not agree to demand of not executing Bhagat Singh. Okay, and Bhagat Singh, and finally on the 23rd March at 7 p.m. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev are hanged. Okay, and basically when the news reached Gandhi, he was very shocked and visibly moved. Okay, this is the eyewitness account. It is written that he was visibly shocked. Now this is not something you relate to Gandhi, because nothing would impact him, but he was visibly shocked and he was deeply moved. Okay, something like that. So basically what is happening, that it was a triumph of the Punjab bureaucracy at this time. The bureaucracy in Punjab has to be blamed for at this time, which was of course Britishers only, right? No, it's not the failure of Gandhi, to my mind. You can have your own choice about it. Bhagat Singh and his comrades, they were never seeking for mercy in any case, okay. And one of the person who worked with Bhagat Singh was Jatendra Nath Sanyal. He also talked about. He said that most probably the Viceroy had felt the influence of public opinion, especially the request of Mahatma Gandhi, but the real citadel of power in India, European ICS cadre. Okay, it is the European ICS officer. But he says that the request of Mahatma Gandhi did listen to by Irwin, but because of the ICS officers, this execution was carried on. And Irwin at one time, he almost submitted to Gandhi's intercession, but he agreed that the threat of the resignation. But but what happened, that when Irwin was talking about this thing, there was a report that Punjab bureaucracy had said that they will resign in mass if Bhagat Singh is not executed. People said they will resign. Punjab bureaucracy said this, and this would have been great problem for Britishers. So they had to, Britishers had to. That was their whatever thing to execute the Bhagat Singh. Okay, and intelligence reports were also like this. There's no doubt about the carrying of these execution has been in the nature of much needed tonic to officials and supporters of the government. So it was kind of tonic for British government, according to the intelligence reports which came to a highlight later on. This is another historical evidence I'm giving you. Okay, so these are the things which are happening. And his close associates of Gandhi, for example, Sitaramaiah is there, and as I said, Madeline Slade, who's also known as Mirabain, he was there, and Asif Ali and Aruna Asif Ali. So these people are there, okay, and they talked about it, that Gandhi's effort, they have talked about it. In fact, one of the very famous historians of India, his name is V.N. Datta. Okay, he's talked about, it's clear from Gandhi was deeply interested in saving Bhagat Singh. Ultimately, who's losing when Bhagat Singh is hanged? It is Gandhi himself. Okay, so political pressure in the form of public opinion was already there. Otherwise, it would not have been a point of discussion between Gandhi and Irwin. Why would even Gandhi talk about it once had he not wanted? Why would Gandhi even want to lose a revolutionary fighter just because he was violent? And if some people say that Gandhi, he would have become greater leader than Gandhi and all that. Those are speculations. He might have become a greater leader than Gandhi also. I cannot deny that, okay, because there is nothing, everything can happen. But then at the same time, it doesn't mean that Gandhi's stature was shadowed at any time by Bhagat Singh at earlier time. In fact, had Bhagat Singh not been hanged, then the Gandhi policy of non-violence would have been upheld. That that through non-violence things could have been saved. The Bhagat Singh could have been saved. So it would have upheld, and Gandhi would have become the moral headmaster of the country. Moral headmaster. So things like these are the few logics related to the Bhagat Singh. Anyway, so let's move ahead to the next topic, which is about the second roundtable conference. And now we know that the Gandhi-Irvin Pact is there, and we have decided that we are going to join the roundtable conference. Okay, now this was to be held in September 1931, and Gandhi leaves for this in August 1931. And which ship Gandhi goes on? It is the name of the ship is SS Rajputana, the ship in which he goes from India to England to attend the second roundtable conference. Oh, do you know that when he came back from South Africa to India, which ship he came in? The name of the ship was SS Arabia. Okay, SS Arabia. And it was probably owned by P&O Navigation Company, if you want to know that. Anyway, just leave this thing. Okay, so Winston Churchill, at this time only, Gandhi reaches there, and Winston Churchill is the prime minister, and he says this is a naked seditious fakir, and he demanded strong British government in India. He criticized Gandhi, and newspapers said that without India, British Commonwealth would fall to pieces. So they were aware of the importance of India. They would not let go India that easily. At this time, the Governor General is also changed. From Irvin to comes the Wellington. Okay, Wellington. You can remember this man is more irritating. Okay, he's the person responsible for the death of Bhagat Singh. I hold Irvin responsible for death of Bhagat Singh than Mahatma Gandhi. You can have your own views. And then a person came who was supposed to do well of India, but then he will also realize that whatever is the well of India lies in the bad of British, because it's a relative term. Okay. Then the majority of the Indians in the RTC, this roundtable conference which happened at this time, they were loyalist. Okay, they were loyalist and the communalist, and then they were the landlords, big landlords. Okay, and they were the representatives of princes. So such people were there. In fact, this poem has been expressed beautifully by a Gujarati poet. Okay, in fact, the second RTC has been expressed by a Gujarati poet. His name is Meghani. Okay, if you read this poem, you can share your experience about it. Then the government they refused to concede to the demands of the Congress at that time, and Gandhi ji had to come back from London in December 1931. He moves back for India. Okay, and Gandhi basically there was representing Congress, and there was also Sarojini Naidu, who had become a close associate of Gandhi since the Dandi March days, and especially since Dandi March days. So they represented, she was largely representing the Indian women over there. See, the difference between the Indian representatives and was that the problem of peculiar framework of the Federal Assembly. Okay, basically, which meant that the nomination of the princes, a weak center, demand of Gandhi, foreign affairs, defense and strategic area must be with India. All these demands that I'm talking about, they were rejected in the second roundtable conference. Okay, just to say it again, weak center and foreign affairs and defense, these should be with India. They were rejected over here. Okay, let me just enlist few things that happened during second RTC. Okay, second RTC. Yeah, before that, just I missed one thing, that was the people who participated. I was telling about Gandhi, and then I talked about Sarojini Naidu. There were a lot of other people. For example, Madan Mohan Malviya was there, and then Ghanshyam Das Birla was there, and Muhammad Iqbal was there. Sir Mirza Ismail Diwan of Mysore, and S.K. Datta, he was there, and also Sir Sayyid Ali Imam, he was there. Among the people who attended. Sir Sayyid Ali Imam. Okay, see, these people were there attending the second roundtable conference. So what exactly was happening over here? Gandhi reiterated that there is a need of partnership between India and the Britishers. So the need for partnership, number one. Number two is that responsible government must be established in full and both at the center and the provincial level. So Gandhi was looking for the responsible government at what levels? At the central level and the provincial level. Okay, number three is that he said that the untouchables were Hindus, okay, and they were not to be treated as minorities. This is what Gandhi demanded from them, because Britishers were trying to divide us. So he said that the untouchables were a minority and they are not to be divided. Number three is that the Congress, the Congress alone represents India, and Congress is the representative of all. And then they also talk about that there should be no separate electorates for Muslims or any other community. But because these claims of Gandhi, they were rejected by other Indian colleagues also. Conference was deadlocked and on the minorities issue for separate electorates, okay. And now you see a lot of people already demanding electorate. For example, Muslims, but more Muslim electorate was being sought. The Dalits, the Christians, the Anglo-Indians, and so on. Even the Europeans, everyone was looking for the separate electorate. And the result was that on December 11, this happened on 11/12/1931, that this whole conference failed, and Gandhi had to come back to India, okay. And then sole outcome of this session, it was the widening of the gap between the Congress and the minorities. This gap widened further, okay. Please remember that the Sikhs was the only community which did not ask for a separate electorates during the second round table conference. Okay, lot of people were very angry when Bhagat Singh died. People were not looking at that time it is a communal issue. These days a lot of people look at it as if it was a war against the Sikhs or whatever, but that time Sikhs were not looking at that way. They were just angry with the Gandhi that Bhagat Singh has not been saved. But whatever it be, Sikhs said we are Indians and Sikhs are Indians. This is what the claim was, and they say we do not want separate electorates. We will fight election normally just like all other Indians, and we do not need this communal electorate, okay. Now this was what happened in the second RTC. But what happens to this, that Britishers learned their lessons from the second RTC and the Gandhi-Irwin Pact actually, okay. So what was the lesson for the British at this time? That they learned from the Delhi Pact that the prestige of the Congress had risen because of this Gandhi-Irwin Pact and all that, and morale of the people had gone up, okay, and it lowered the British prestige. British prestige is lower, Congress prestige is up, morale of the people is up. And the new Viceroy, Wellington, that is, the major few errors were committed, okay. He realized this. So now Britishers decided that they have three major consideration at this time. Number one, they cannot allow the tempo for any new movement. Now, for example, in 1919 or 1920-21 or 1930, earlier also, okay, Khilafat, NCM, CDM, during all these times they allowed to build a tempo, but this time they are not going to allow the tempo to be built up, okay. Number two is that the government functionaries, okay, it's related to government functionaries. In this, that they say the village official, police and bureaucrats and loyalists and friends, they must not feel that Gandhi has resurrected or Gandhi has revived. They should not feel that there has been revival of the Gandhi or the revival of the government against the Britishers, against the British government, okay. So government functionary, village official, police, bureaucrat, they had to ensure all this thing, okay. Number two was this, okay. And number three is that the nationalist movement must not be allowed to spread. So movement is to be stopped from spreading, especially in the areas of UP, Gujarat and Bihar and Andhra Pradesh and Northwest Frontier Province and Bengal, okay, the main areas of the movement at that time, right. But the Britishers also had this was the open strategy actually, okay. The Britishers also had a secret strategy that the moment Mahatma Gandhi will reach India, will arrest him, and very outside Gandhi is of course arrested, okay. And in fact, there are few instances which overshadow the whole scenario, because when Gandhi was away, the nation was getting restless, especially after Bhagat Singh's execution. Nation was restless and to do something against the Britishers, okay. And for example, in UP, Nehru was arrested, okay, before when he was going to he was getting out of UP to meet Mahatma Gandhi at the shipyard, the ship station, right. And he had actually started in December 1931 only. At this time only, in 1931, in December only, Congress had started what is called as a no tax and no rent campaign. That had already been started when Gandhi was away. And in NWFP, for example, another example, there was Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. He was arrested. Khan Okay, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. He was arrested, and in Bengal, the draconian laws were enforced, and political workers were arrested. So a lot of arrest over there. Okay, so peasant struggle was on in Bihar, Andhra, UP, Bengal, Punjab, everywhere. CDM had to be resumed. Nothing could have been done, and British felt that the major error has been committed in signing truce with Congress. Britishers realized that because. Because Indians are awakening again, Indians are going to fight the Britishers, and all this story. Okay, so this is what has after immediate. These are the immediate things after second RTC. But let's talk about a few more things. Okay, and that is from the second RTC to the time period of Wardha session, the place where Mahatma Gandhi establishes a new ashram, which is called as the Satyagraha ashram. Okay, you see even the names of the ashrams of Mahatma Gandhi will keep on changing over here. It has become earlier it was Sabarmati ashram, which was in Sabarmati. Now this is Satyagraha ashram at Wardha. We'll talk about it, right? So what is happening that from on 28 December 1931 Gandhi comes back to India. On 29 December CDM is resumed, and on 31st December 1931 Gandhi ji, he asked the viceroy, okay, let's meet up, I'll suspend the CDM, if you talk to me about what has to be done ahead. Viceroy says, no, I won't talk to you about this. He denies that, and the things are getting a little violent at this time, and more than 80,000 people are arrested. Actually more than 1 lakh had been arrested in less than 4 months at this time, and Congress was declared illegal at this time only. Okay, and on 4th January, this is 1932. Now after this 4 days after this offer, 4th January 1932, Gandhi is also arrested, and ordinance is promulgated to give unlimited power to the authority, and some even called it what is called as a civil martial law. Civil martial law is announced over here. Then after this, people are very angry, and people response is that of anger only, and this time Congress is also banned. You see the Congress ban was not there at the time of earlier part. Okay, and that is in 1930 CDM there, or when NCM was, the Congress ban was not there, but now it is there. So all the Gandhi ashrams were occupied at this time, and there was a lot of satyagraha also, and all the satyagraha, they were lathi charged, and the nationalist literature is suppressed, and the press is gagged, and all that story going on. Okay, lot of violence being done by the Britishers, and now it was clear that the movement could not be carried on any further, and then it was in April 1934 that Gandhi had no option but to withdraw the civil disobedience movement. Okay, and it was during this time only that Britishers gave what is called as the Communal Award of 1932. There has been a question very recently in somewhere in 2012, 13, 14 about this Communal Award in 1932, and this was announced by the Prime Minister MacDonald at that time of Britain. Okay, and what happened in this was, under this Communal Award, what had happened, number one was that it was basically proposal on minority representation only. Okay, and it said that the existing seats of the provincial legislature, they were to be doubled twice. Okay, and number two is that system of separate electorates. Okay, separate electorate, this system was to be now continued. Okay, and this system was to be retained, and the Muslims, wherever they are in minority, were to be granted a weightage. So for special concessions for further introduced for the Muslims at this time. Number four, except for Northwest Frontier Province, 3% of the seats for women were to be reserved in all provinces. Okay, 3% seats were to be reserved. And then don't write this thing in essay at least. Okay, that Britishers also said this thing, because this was very much to divide India actually, because this was not done in Northwest Frontier Province, and then particular class of women only could enter. There were a lot of restrictions also. Anyway, so depressed, Dalit or untouchable, they were to be declared as minorities. Okay, everything that Mahatma Gandhi asked in earlier to him, all that is being denied over here, and allocation was to be made okay, to the labor, landlord, trader, and industrialist, so on. Okay, and this award, this Communal Award of 1932, it awarded separate electorate for Muslims and Sikhs also, and Christians also, and Anglo-Indians also, and depressed classes. Even Marathas, they were considered as separate, and they were given as separate electorate. So this is the communal electorate. The depressed classes were given seat, okay, which had to be filled from the special constituencies in which they could vote. But okay, but they could vote in another constituency as well. But if it was a depressed class constituency, then only they could vote over there, right? And these way things were going on. Sikhs were approximately 13.2% of the population of Punjab at that time. Sikh population in Punjab was 13.2. Today it must be around 55-60%, I believe, okay, in 2015. Anyway, so 13.2% population in Punjab, and here they were given 32 seats out of the total of 175 seats in Punjab. That's about 18%. So that is how this policy going on. It was declared by Gandhi that for more than once that the separate electorate for depressed class, it was an attempt to divide and detach the people. And Gandhi realizing that Britishers are dividing people, and is asking people not to get divided. He felt that the Britishers are going to break the country on the basis of communities. Okay, the British are going to break the country on the basis of community. He understood this. Okay, word communal comes from the word community only. You can very well read community, communal. The words are very related to each other. He wrote a letter to the Prime Minister as far as depressed classes is not changed, he would sit on the fast unto death. Okay, and in fact Gandhi sits on the fast unto death against the communal accord, and that is on 20 September 1932. And this was the question in paper, that why was Gandhi sitting on communal fast at this time, okay, against the communalism. And Gandhi sat on fast unto death in Yaravada jail only, okay, Yaravada jail, and in which he was lodged at that time. And the Hindu leaders woke up and went directly to Dr. Ambedkar to negotiate this matter, and it was the outcome of the negotiation. It was the Poona Pact of outcome of this negotiation was Poona Pact of 1932. People went to Ambedkar that Gandhi will die if he keeps on fast at that time. Okay, so you can say that the MacDonald this communal award was essentially manifestation of the British policy of divide and rule. If not that, what else it was? Okay, so this is how it is going on. See, Congress opposed it and because it was encouraging communal notion. Okay, but please understand that there is one more aspect of it, this whole thing, and that is see, in the idea of the communal electorate, there was understanding between Congress and Muslims. In 1916 they agreed. Now that is why Congress remains little quiet on this. Congress remains quiet, but Gandhi is very vocal against it. Congress is quiet about it, that this communal award, neither they rejected nor they accepted. They are quiet because of the 1916 accord. That is the point to be noted here. Okay, so Gandhiji was in Yaravada jail, and he said once that the depressed classes were treated as separate community. The question of abolishing untouchability would not rise. Such things were being talked about. So he didn't object to large number of reserved seats for depressed classes. Okay, he said it's okay if you want to reserve the seat, that is one thing, but having communal electorate that only these people could vote, that is wrong. Okay, that the representative of the depressed class shall be elected by general electorate and possibly by universal franchise. That is what the Gandhi was demanding. He said reservation is fine, but then this concept is not acceptable, that the separate electorates are given. Okay, so this is how it is going on. And as I told you, on 20 September 1932 he goes on fast unto death, and all were politically shaken in the country, and temples were thrown open because of this in India for the depressed classes. And even the leaders like Madan Mohan Malviya and Dr. Ambedkar, all they became active, and they together they negotiated what is called as the Poona Pact. Okay, so now we will talk about the Poona Pact. What was in the Poona Pact? Pretty simple. They said, number one, it abandoned the idea of separate electorate for depressed classes. Okay, they agreed that there cannot be separate electorate for the depressed classes. Okay, number one. Number two is that the seats reserved for them in provincial legislature, they were to be increased. Gandhi said fine, seats for separately for the poor, these Dalit class was raised from 71 to 147, and Gandhi said it's okay, it's fine, in that was in Central Legislative Assembly, and they were to increase to 18% of the total. That's okay, and right. And then finally, it was signed. Gandhi and Ambedkar signed it. Gandhi was ready to give anything basically because he was against the joint for in favor of the joint electorates, and he was against the separate electorate. That is the whole point over here. Okay, But at the same time, Gandhi over realizes that the problem of untouchability in India is huge, which is the worst form of the Dalit discrimination. So he starts as what is called as the landmark Harijan tour, okay, to oppose this after the Poona Pact. So we will now talk about this Harijan tour and what Gandhi was doing during all this while in this tour, okay. Now in this Poona Pact, he was basically fighting against untouchability, right? And I'm just reminded of one sidey fact. Gandhi's favorite song was Vaishnava Janate, okay, Vaishnava Janate, Peer Parai, and all that song, right? But do you know who wrote this song? It was written by Narsingh Mehta. Narsingh Mehta, okay, Narsingh Mehta. Please remember this thing. Anyway, so now he shifted his ashram. And the name of his ashram is now Satyagraha Ashram. You see the changing philosophy of the Gandhis. The name of the ashram has also changed. This ashram is at a place called Wardha. And here, from here, he will start all his campaign against untouchability. He left it to empathize with the people who lost their property during the nationalist people. Okay, and actually, why was the Ahmedabad, the earlier Sabarmati ashram left? Because a lot of people have lost their property. To empathize with them, he also left that property. Okay, and later on, we'll see that after this, he moves on to what is because his philosophy is changing, so he also moved to what is known as the Sevagram ashram, and this is again near Wardha only, his third ashram. Okay, anyway, from November 1933 to July 1934, Gandhi conducts Harijan tour. He travels approximately 20,000 kilometer in the country, and after this, at this time only, he founded Harijan Sevak Sangh. Harijan Sevak Sangh. Okay, and then Harijan is the backward classes. He would call them Harijan. Harijan means Hari means God, Jan matlab people. So he would call the people of the God Harijan, and to the backward classes. And then during this time he took major fast, and in one of the fasts he is also opposed by his wife Kasturba Gandhi. So you see what is happening. He is keeping fast here again to tell about the seriousness of his effort. Okay, and in fact a lot of people got into emotional crisis whenever Gandhi kept fast, because people feared that what if Gandhi died, and people had this fear of what if Gandhi died only because they respected him. Even after that is the Bhagat Singh execution. So essentially, see, this whole idea has been communalized now. It was people were supporting him at that time, but then Gandhi was here attacked by the orthodox Hindus. They said what Gandhi is doing is wrong, people should be divided on the basis of caste, but Gandhi was opposing that. So that was they were not acceptable to orthodox. Gandhiji was accused of attacking Hinduism. Even in fact, people were so angry that about this Gandhi's promotion of equality between all the people, that one of them even threw a bomb on the car in which Gandhi was traveling in 1934. Yeah, he was traveling in car, of course, at that time. So protesters fully supported the government against the Congress. And CDM, if government doesn't support anti-untouchability campaign. So and government, of course, it was easy for them. Okay, and how it was easy for them, the protesters, government satisfied them by defeating the what is known as the temple entry bill. So because of our own people, these things are happening. Temple entry bill, and this was defeated in 1934. Okay, and Congress boycotted election in 1933, and of course that is why it was defeated here. And Gandhiji was against the idea of mixing the question of untouchability with interdining and intermarriage. Okay, basically he wanted that intercaste marriage should be there. Gandhi supported the intercaste marriage and interdining, interdining, such things. Gandhi was supporting them. But then he was not saying that we should mix these ideas, all of them should be done, but then they should be all treated separate questions, separately fought. Okay, now Gandhi also said whatever be the limitations and defects of Varnashram, Gandhi was aware of the limitations and the defects of Varnashram. It was not that he was not aware of it. So many people accuse Gandhi of being casteist. How is he casteist? He's joining people. Okay, he's removing casteism and untouchability. So Gandhi said there are problems in untouchability, whatever there is, but then untouchability is extremely sinful. Okay, nothing is as sinful as untouchability is. A lot of people, they just read the half comment of Gandhi. They say that Gandhi said Varnashram has its own goods and bads. They put a full stop there, but he was saying this in a comparative turn with reference to untouchability. and non-Hindus were also treated by many Hindus at that time as untouchable. So that was another issue which was going on, and this struggle against untouchable would bring communal harmony also. So Gandhi is responsible for bringing communal harmony in India through his Harijan tour. Please remember this fact. And his Harijan campaign included, what he would do in his Harijan campaign, very simple things. He would promote education, that is the easiest thing. Number two, he would promote cleanliness. He had to do Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, bhai Swachh Bharat mission chala diya, he would focus on the hygiene, especially personal hygiene. Number three was that he would give up eating of carrion and beef, and he said, okay, he would promote, we should not eat all these things because these are hurting the religious sentiment of some people. So why have them? They are in any case harmful. Okay, that's a different debate, right? Let's not get into that. Anyway, he of course he was one thing to which world also agrees, and that is the consumption of liquor. Gandhi was against this. He was in support of abolition of all the untouchability. He stressed that this wasn't a political movement. Okay, Gandhi kept on saying that this wasn't a political movement. So at this time, the Gandhi's Harijan tour was a political movement? No, false. But a movement to purify Hinduism and Hindu society. Okay, but he was aware, that whatever he is doing, these will definitely have political consequences. Gandhi was aware of this thing, and the movement kept the worker busy even during the non-mass phase of the movement. The masses are having rest at this time. So slowly the message of nationalism was carried on to Harijans also, and leading to increased participation of the Harijans in the nationalist movement. Okay, so you can see that what kind of role Gandhi has played over here with this. Okay, and so this was the main thing about the Harijan movement at that time. There can be a question in your paper on this, right? And meanwhile, at this time, particular people from Congress, for example, including Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, he quitted from the main body of the Congress and he started what is known as the Congress Nationalist Party. And the party's immediate job was to reject the Communal Award. They were also against the Communal Award given by the Britishers in 1932, right? And by the end of 1932, elections were held to the Central Legislative Assembly. 1934 elections were held. Congress they secured more than half the number of elected seats, and Muslim League did not contest in these elections. Okay, Muslim League did not contest. 1934 elections. These are not 1937 elections, which generally we talk about. And Jinnah returned to the assembly as an independent candidate. He did not join assembly as a Muslim League candidate. Please remember this. And meanwhile, in 1934, nature had also struck a tragedy. There was a Bihar earthquake at the time of the Richter scale on the 8.4. So there was a problem, and more than 40,000 people lost their lives, and a tragedy after tragedy is happening in India, right? And then after this, there was third roundtable conference happening in November 1932 only. Okay, third RTC. And what happened in third RTC is that it was actually held on 17th November 1932. It was just a nominal conference, okay, and nominal conference. Congress did not participate in it, and the Labour Party also did not participate in it, and also, in fact, Congress were not even invited to this. Why would they even participate in it? Okay, so Congress was not even invited. Only 46 people reached in this RTC, and this conference, it was this conference actually where Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, okay, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, he proposed the name of the new land to which for the Muslims called as the so-called holy land of Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan. And the third Muslim leader, a lot of people who attended this conference, for example, Sir Muhammad Ali was there, okay, and Sir Aga Khan was there. All these are sirs, huh? Anyway, Fazlul Haq is there, and Jinnah of course attends this conference. The outcome was nothing. There was a white paper given by them, okay, and on the basis of this paper, Government of India Act was to be passed. We'll talk about this act in the next lecture, right? But before I end this lecture now, I would like to talk to you about one more thing, and that is that was it the defeat of the Congress in CDM? Was calling off a CDM in 1934 the defeat of Congress? You see, at this time Nehru and Gandhi had separated, number one, okay. Number two is that SC Bose and Vittal Bhai Patel, they were critical of Gandhi's leadership, and from 1933 from London they said Gandhi as a leader has failed, And number three, British failed to understand. But please understand that the Britishers also thought that movement had failed. But the truth is, most of the people, they failed to realize the importance and the nature and the nature of the Indian national movement, the nature and the strategy of the national movement. Strategy of Indian national movement. Our movement was not a one-day movement. It happened over many days, many phases. We'll talk about in the next lecture in detail. But for here, see, people were cowed down. Okay, people were bent, but then they still had faith in Congress. From 1930 to 1934, independence was not achieved. Agreed, right? Definitely not achieved. Independence not achieved. Okay, but please understand that the people have been transformed. British journalists, there's a journalist in Britain which is called as H.N. Brailsford. This is mentioned in NCRT also, that Indians have won independence in their heart. So withdrawal of the movement isn't actually defeat. Okay, hero's welcome was given to the prisoners when they were released in 1934 after their arrest. That shows people were ready. Okay, and when the elections happen, out of 11 provinces, this Congress gets the majority, and this shows that the people still had faith in Congress. On the other hand, with the decline of the CDM, a new generation of youth under leftist trend, leftist trend had got stronger over here. Okay, impact was there of the leftist trend. It was clearly visible. So second phase of the CDM also saw significant uprising in the states of Kashmir, which did not happen in the first phase, and also in Alwar. Okay, I hope you have read in cultural history about Alwar saints, right? Alwars, ALVA, Alwars, and Niners. Right, they were quite popular in South India, and in North India there was popularity of Tantricism. That comes in cultural history. Okay, let's leave it anyway. So so Kashmir at this time there was an agreement. If I talk about Kashmir at this time, there was agreement between Maharaja Jai Singh, and he enhanced the revenue. Okay, and he enhanced the revenue, and this enhanced revenue, it was opposed by Sheikh Abdullah. Sheikh Abdullah, he is the same person who's the father of Farooq Abdullah. In fact, very interestingly, Wikipedia page on 2015, okay, on 2nd August 2015, Wikipedia page says that only qualification of Farooq, one of the qualification of Farooq Abdullah, main qualification is that he's the son of Sheikh Abdullah. Anyways, such things are happening. Okay, so overall, to sum it up, Bhagat Singh and others have been hanged. Okay, this is the summary of the chapter. Bhagat Singh has been hanged, and Karachi session we talked about, and then second RTC we talked about, and Gandhi comes back from RTC, CDM is resumed, and Gandhi makes an offer, but Gandhi is also arrested, and then there is McDonald Award. Okay, or the Communal Award of 1932, and in 1932 only Gandhi goes on to fast unto death, and then in 1934 CDM is withdrawn. 34, this is CDM is withdrawn, and finally also the Temple Entry Bill has been defeated. Okay, so in the coming lectures now, after this I am going to talk to you about, in the next lecture immediately, as a continuation of this lecture, as I said, one of the key roles at this time was the rise of the left wing. So we will talk about the left wing in quite a detail. In the next lecture we'll talk about the Meerut conspiracy case and all the main important leaders, the Congress Socialist Party, and all those details. Okay, and then finally after that we will be talking about the Government of India Act 1935 and all the things that with elections and all that thereon after that. Okay, now just quickly, before I go, I just have a small request for all of you, and that is, if you like this video, please do share it on your social media channel. Okay, Google Plus तो अब बंद हो गया है. Google Plus is closing down, so you can always share it on Facebook, Twitter, and please do click on the like button. That lets me know if the video is good or bad, and also for others. And lastly, if you want all these videos to come right into your email box, then you will need to subscribe to us, and that you can do by clicking over here, right? So thank you, and thank you again for watching this video.